Senator Coyle.
Senator Gold, signatories to the Paris Agreement, including Canada, are required to submit their new nationally determined contributions outlining their 2035 emissions reductions targets by February of 2025. According to Canada's Climate Accountability Framework, Canada was supposed to have set its 2035 target by December 1st, 2024. I met with two members of Canada's Net Zero Advisory Body, Catherine Abreu and Simon Donner, at COP29 in Baku. NZAB September reports warn that if we continue on our current trajectory, Canada will not meet our 2030 target of reducing emissions by 40 to 45%. NZAB also recommends Canada set its new NDC for 2035 to 50 to 55% below 2005 levels. Senator Gold, will the government take NZAB's advice and set Canada's 2035 emissions reduction target to 50 to 55%? And it will do that soon. December 1st deadline, which was our own, has already passed.
Senator Gold.
Well, thank you for your question, Senator, and for your continued advocacy on this issue. While I'm not able to speculate on any future potential commitments, this government is taking strong action to combat climate change through a suite of policies and measures. Let me note, colleagues, that in 2015, Canada's emissions were projected to rise 8% above 2005 levels by 2030. But since then, thanks to a range of policies and programs from this government, the Canadian Climate Institute now estimates that Canada's emissions declined by 8% below those 2005 levels. To that said, much more work needs to be done, colleagues. We cannot risk polluting freely again and to harm our environment by cutting just about every measure that is successfully cutting pollution and at the same time building a strong and sustainable economy.
Senator Coyle.
8% is pretty far off of our target for 2030. Senator Gold, the Net Zero Advisory Body's reports recommend key measures: finalizing the oil and gas emissions cap, clean electricity regulations, stronger oversight of industrial carbon pricing, and adopting a national carbon budget to address Canada's shortfalls in meeting its emissions targets. Swift action is needed to achieve Canada's commitments. What steps is the government taking to implement these recommendations and ensure Canada is on track to meet our net zero goals?
Senator Gold.
Thank you. The government has published the 2023 progress report. It's the first progress report on the 2030 emissions reduction plan, and it identifies the strategies to reach our 2030 targets and net zero emission targets by 2050. The report also provides an update on progress towards our emissions reduction targets described in the 2030 ERP, including a measure-by-measure update on the implementation status, and another report will be published in 2025 and once again thereafter in 2027.